welcome back to another archery video. We just got back from Mexico hunting Gould's turkey. You can check that video out. It was a blast. A little bit of a circus, but still, it was a lot of fun.
Today we're going to be blind bale shooting at 115 yards with our eyes closed.
No, close, but no. We are going to be blind bale shooting. It's in my opinion, one of the best ways to improve your shot. Especially if you have, some target panic and some stuff like that. I've seen some videos that are somewhat similar, but I'd really like to dive into the actual blind bale shooting portion. I've been doing it for well over a year, and I know Connor's done it a little bit, but it's really improved my shot a lot, and I am very, very, very grateful that I've been doing it because I have seen some amazing results. So we're gonna jump right into that and let us know what you guys think. So blind bale shooting, it's pretty simple. It's not complicated, so don't overthink it. What we're gonna do here is we've got Connor, he's got his lift, and we're gonna show you exactly what you need to do to improve your shot as well. We're gonna start with this target is like 1 yard away. It's very close. You don't want it to be far because you want to be absolutely not concerned at all with hitting the target. You're not shooting for groups. You're not shooting for anything other than feeling your bow, feeling your release, and trying to improve your shot. When you take away having to think about where you're going to hit, you can really focus on how it feels. And if you get to a point where that's all you're worried about, you're gonna start shooting really good. You're gonna draw, get kind of lined up to know where you're at. Then once he's good, once you know you're gonna hit the target, Connor's actually gonna close his eyes and just feel the release, feel what feels right, and go through the shot. How did that feel, Budog?
I didn't miss.
That's correct.
It's good. I think Kate hit the nail right on the head with don't overthink it. A lot of archers, they get in this rhythm and then they get further out there and they start to think like, oh man, if I'm off, a 1/16 of an inch, I'm gonna miss the target, and then they end up shanking it. So just don't overthink it. Just simple, calm, cool, collected, breathe, and then squeeze. Just pull that back tension through and then let her rip, tater chip.
All right, so it really is that simple. What we're gonna do now, I'm gonna come over here. I've got my Lift X. Boom, and I'm gonna shoot a few shots. What's important about this is you focus on what you're doing and make sure that you do everything the right way. A lot of people, they overthink everything. They start worrying about, okay, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. That makes it really hard to focus on your shot. A lot of times, especially with new shooters, they'll shoot and you'll ask them, how did it feel? And they get a blank look on their face. Like, man, I have no idea how it felt. I just know where I hit. That's a problem. You want to know exactly how your shot feels. A lot of the time, the second I pull the trigger, I know where my shot's gonna miss. If I miss, hey, I'm gonna be an inch high, be a little high left, be a little low. I know what happened because I'm focusing on how the shot feels. So I know about where I'm gonna hit prior to the shot actually hitting the target. And so you can learn a lot by just taking away the fact, did I hit it or did I miss? So we're gonna do the same thing Connor did. We're gonna go ahead and draw, step back a little bit. We're drawn. We know we're not gonna miss right here. So we're gonna get anchored, set up exactly how you normally do, and pull through your shot. I know that right there I had a clean break. I know that I went a little bit through, but I also know that I didn't, in that shot, I felt it. I didn't get quite enough back tension. I used too much of my hand to pull the shot through, and I need to use more back tension. And you can go through all of the motions in your head, know exactly what you're doing wrong, because you don't care about where the arrow went. So, super important. And I believe that people that are blind bale shooting will become better shooters than people that just want to shoot long distances, shoot for range, shoot for groups, shoot for stuff like that. Now, I see that shot still in the target. Doesn't matter, you don't need to pull it out. I'm not trying to group it, because if I do it this close, I'm gonna blow up arrows and that would be scary. So do the same thing, drawn, get all anchored, get set up, close your eyes. Perfect, that was a great shot. That one was definitely better than my first. Felt better, more relaxed, a little bit more comfortable. And that's what you want to shoot for. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Connor, he's gonna shoot 3 or 4 shots, and he's gonna tell us how he feels and give us his opinion on blind bale shooting. Connor hasn't been doing it as long as I have, or as consistently as I have. He still shoots a lot, but the blind bale shooting is really, he's a little bit newer to it. So we're gonna have him shoot through it and see if he can learn anything about his shot and what he's doing.
It's pretty nice. It's nice to not have to worry about, you get in your own head, get psyched up. It's like, well, you know, I'm gonna take a step so that I don't hit my other arrow. That's it. I mean, I did pretty good at that, so. But it is nice. You're able to really focus on, you know, back tension and getting surprised by the break. You're not kind of timing the break with your floating your sight over the target out there at, you know, 1 billion yards away. You're just able to, you know, breathe and squeeze and pull, get that back tension in there. So that is really nice, because I tend to, you know, the further I get out, I'm trying to time that break and like, oh no, I was a little high when that one broke, or I was a little left, and so this is like, there's just no worry at all. So it's a great way for you to get dialed in. I mean, it is May. The archery hunts for at least Arizona don't start until September, August. So it's a great way to get dialed in. So then when you do have a big old buck in your sights, you're not quaking in your boots.
The other way that this can be super helpful to you guys is if you do have a buddy that you shoot with on a regular basis, get together, do this activity together. Right now I'm with Connor, and Connor, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch Connor draw, and if there's anything that Connor's doing wrong, I can see it as an additional perspective, and you can help each other get better. When Connor draws back and he'll close his eyes, one of the things that you should notice is right here on Connor's back, when he releases, you should be able to feel his back muscles pinch together so that when the shot goes off, he shoots with his back, not his thumb. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make shooting with a thumb button, is you're not shooting with your back, you're shooting with your thumb. In my opinion, shooting with a thumb button, it's a little easier to punch the trigger than it is with a regular trigger finger release. So there's pros and cons to every way that you shoot, but this activity can be crucial to learning what your mistakes are that if you're shooting long ranges, you might normally overlook and not notice. So I love doing this. I think it's a great activity, and if you do this, you will get better at shooting. Like all things, you just have to be consistent and actually put in the work to make sure that there's no problems with your shot.
How often should you do this? It's pretty unrealistic to be able to do this every day. I mean, you have work, you have other responsibilities, and you have other hunts that you need to go on. But it is something that it's just one of those basic things that you can't really do it enough or too much. You can't overdo it. Obviously, you know, this is a basic principle, and you need to be able to execute out to further distances in order to harvest those animals. So, you know, one of my favorite sayings is actually from Kobe Bryant. He said, never get bored of the basics. And this is 100% one of those things. So, you know, in reality, doing this once a week, twice, a month kind of thing is really going to allow you to overcome that target panic and also just become a ice cold shot out to further distances. So, you know, do it often, but just shoot your bow. That's really all I have to say. Too many guys pick up their bow come archery season and say, hey, let's get dialed in. You know, you have to be shooting your bow months in advance, a year in advance, years in advance. You know, you have to be consistent with your bow. It's all about consistency. So let's watch Cade.
One of the other big points too is you can see we're shooting straight. I'm level shooting. I'm not shooting down, the target's not 2 feet in front of me on the ground. You want to be shooting level. The reason that's important is because if you're shooting down or if you're shooting up, it's hard to get the right form, right? If you're just going back to the basics, that's not what you want to be doing. You want to be making sure that you're shooting as comfortably as possible, right? Right now, you're not trying to push the limits. You're not trying to push yourself and test how far you can go and crazy angles and stuff like that. You want to shoot as level as possible. We actually built a frame so that we could do this. The other thing you can do, put a target on a table, put a target in the back of a truck, put the target on top of a garbage can. It don't matter. You just want to be shooting as level as possible. The other way this comes into a huge advantage is doing this when you're fatigued. A lot of guys, you know, they'll try to push themselves. You'll go shoot 100 shots in an afternoon, and that's awesome. That can be super helpful to your shot. But sometimes when you start shooting and shooting and shooting, even at shorter distances, you're tired, you're fatigued, so you can miss the target. If you're doing this, if you're missing, there's a major problem. So get set up. Even if you're dog tired, you're gonna go shoot your shots for the day, go through your archery repetition, and then come back here when you know you're exhausted and practice shooting the right way when you're fatigued and when you are tired and when you are shaken and struggling to hold the bow. Do what you can to still hold your composure and get off clean shots, and ultimately you'll become a much better shooter in a shorter amount of time. We did see Chris B's video that was similar to this. His video, actually, he was drawing the bow, aiming, getting set up, and letting up his shot. That's super helpful. That's extremely important as well. But with this, we're taking it just a step farther, and we're actually going through all of the motions. We're still shooting the shot, but we're just focusing on how it feels. If you guys have target panic, it can be extremely helpful because you don't have anything to panic about. You can relax your mind, relax your body, and just go through and make sure that you've got a really good shot. And if you are somebody that is struggling with target panic, then I would recommend keeping the target at 2 yards away and shoot like that, shoot 100 shots a day, get through, break your target panic, get to shooting nothing but good shots. Go back that if you can shoot 100 perfect, clean break shots in a row, then put the target back out there and go through the motions, applying the same thing that you just learned now to the field where you can shoot longer distances. The guys that can shoot long distances aren't necessarily guys that just go and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. You can shoot and have been doing something a long time, but still not know what you're doing. So if you work on it, you can learn exactly what you're doing and be able to apply that to the field. Well, there you have it. That is blind bale shooting. Pretty simple, super easy concept, but can absolutely be a major game changer for your archery shooting ability and improvement in the long run. So I had a blast. I do this on a very regular basis. I really enjoy doing it. Sometimes it can be tough. Your mind doesn't get the satisfaction of a hit or miss, and it initially can be a little bit of a challenge with your brain, but overall, I think it's extremely important and definitely a game changer.
I agree. I think the best time to do it is to get yourself out of a funk. We all have those days where we just we can't hit the broadside of a barn. And so getting your target brought into 2 yards, you're just able to be more comfortable, get out of that funk, stop being angry, and then just kind of have fun with it. Go back to the basics. So super simple for you guys to set up, which is awesome. There's nothing to it. You all have targets if you have bows. And so y'all have a way to do this. So do it.
Let us know what you guys thought. Again, as always, make sure to like, comment, and give us a subscribe if you haven't already.
What up, homies? Bye.
Adios.